Hi, my name is Casey Wolf, and I am a sarcoma cancer survivor. And I would just like to tell you a little bit about my story. I was diagnosed in in May 2009. In February 2009, I found a little knot in my arm, and I asked my family doctor about it. And he said, "Don't worry about it unless things get bigger or they bother you." And it got bigger, and it didn't bother me, but I went and got it checked out and found out that it was sarcoma cancer. I went through radiation and chemo and finally surgery, and through all this, of course, I lost my hair. And as it started coming out, I decided I was not going to go down and be sad and mad about the whole situation. And some supporters of mine, some friends from school, I teach school, they came together and we had a hair shaving party. We all wore prom dresses and we got dressed up, we did our hair, and we all showed up and we had a big old time. And each of my friends took a little shave of my hair, and they took a little piece of it with them. And obviously it was a very bittersweet moment, but it was a very memorable moment that I will remember forever, my friends being there. So after I shaved my hair off and we had our big party, I really had no intention of getting a wig because at the time, obviously, I was thinking about financial issues. I have all these new medical bills to pay, and I don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't know how long I'm going to be out of school and not working. So a friend of mine actually called and she said, "Hey, let's go to this salon, and I want you to have this consultation with this friend of mine," and I really didn't know what her plan was at the time. And come to find out, this stylist called me and she said, "Hi Casey, this is Gay. I was just calling to let you know that your wig came in." And I said, "Well, I didn't order a wig." And she said, "Well, there's one waiting for you here, and it's been paid for." And I said, "Okay." So I go to pick it up and I get there and there's this card with it from my friend, and it says something along the lines of, "Don't worry about it. We just want to do something special for you. This is especially for you." And she had paid for the wig, and I will never forget that. And I took it, and of course I wore it very proudly. And some of the times that I wore it, I mostly wore it not really for myself, although I did want to come out sometimes and look pretty again with my long hair, without my bald head. But most of the time I wore it for my husband because he was already looking at this new person and he wasn't sure what to think, and he wasn't sure. He was probably thinking, is my wife going to be here next year? And I'm sure that's what was on his mind. And so just to make it a little bit easier for him, when we went out to dinner or went to special occasions, of course, I wore my wig and, made him feel a little bit more comfortable with the situation. But that's a little story about my wig, and I just want to encourage everyone to make sure that they're doing, breast self-exams and things like that. Obviously, mine was not breast cancer, which is very popular, but any kind of cancer can pop up. If you have any kind of little knots or bumps or anything, please get it checked out by your doctor because you never know. It might be cancer. And thank you for your donation to the Beautiful Links campaign. Thank you.
My name is Crystal Sanders, and I just want to tell you a little bit about my journey over the past year. Last November, I discovered that I had breast cancer. I was 33 years old, and actually it was a very crazy and hectic time when I discovered it. It was the day before Thanksgiving. I was in a very big rush that day, and I actually had just taken a very quick shower and I was putting lotion on, and my tumor was particularly high. So I just rubbed my hand across my chest that morning and felt a lump that stopped me in my tracks. And I automatically knew it wasn't right, and so I did a breast exam. Because it did stop me in my tracks that moment, I did a breast exam and I felt another lump. So as soon as Thanksgiving was over, I went to my doctor, and she confirmed that she felt the same thing that I did, sent me for a mammogram. And because of my age, I was only 33 at the time, the mammogram did not show the tumors at all. I had very dense breast tissue, So that day, because it was obvious that I had tumors there, they did a breast ultrasound, and on that ultrasound it was revealed that I actually had 7 tumors in my left breast, and I was diagnosed with intraductal carcinoma, and it was already at stage 2 whenever I found it. So my treatment required chemotherapy, which I was really hoping I didn't have to do, but I did. And honestly, the hardest part of the whole treatment, yes, it made you feel really bad, but for me, the hardest part was preparing myself to lose my hair, and then when it started coming out. To me, cancer felt like such a humiliating disease, and losing my hair kind of felt like the final slap of the diagnosis that I just received. So it was very difficult, and my good friend Martha Marie Lewis, who's also my hairstylist, once we found out that I was going to have to take chemo, she said, "Crystal, you know, why don't we go and pick out a wig for you?" And I thought, you know, that's a great idea. And she went with me, and she helped me match my hair color and my hairstyle as closely as we could. And so 15 days after my first treatment, all of my hair started falling out, just in large clumps, and I would say that day I probably lost half my hair. And so by the next day, pretty much the other half had fallen out. And I was so thankful that I had that wig already on hand, because I can't imagine facing just normal daily activities if I had not had hair to put on. It helped me not feel so humiliated. I don't think there was a way I could have gone to the grocery store at that time if I had had to walk in there bald, because it is such a shock to see yourself with no hair, and it makes you feel so sick to look in the mirror and just see a bald head. And the hair that you're donating, I just want you guys to know how meaningful that is, and how you're going to give someone confidence. The hair gave me so much more self-confidence and just let me feel like my old self again in a time that was very trying, and it just made me feel more normal whenever I could put that wig on and put a little makeup on and get dressed and go about my day and almost forget that you know, something was wrong. So the gift that you are giving is such an extreme gift, and I just want you to know how much the receiver of your hair, how much it will mean to them.
My name is Martha Marie Lewis, and I work at the Parlor Salon in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The cost of human hair wigs tends to be between $300 and $600, and it typically takes 3 to 6 ponytails to make one human hair wig. The moment they start losing their hair to the moment that they get the joy of putting one of these gorgeous human hair wigs back on their head and get to feel like themselves, and the value and the self-esteem has just come back to their lives. I just want to encourage each and every one of you to feel the difference that it makes in these women.